Welcome to the Royal Peace Show, where we believe health is the new goal, water is life, and God is above all. We highlight the importance of mental, physical, and spiritual well being. Today, we'll be talking about breaking the silence, understanding emotional vulnerability in men. Today, we will explore a topic that has long seduced the systemic and silent emotional vulnerability in men. We often hear that men should be strong and tolerant, but the truth is that embracing vulnerability is a sign of strength. In this episode, we will explore the challenges men face when it comes to expressing their emotions, the social pressure, and discourage open dialogue, and the transformation power of being emotionally honest. Join us as we break the silence and encourage meaningful conversation about vulnerability, connection, and mental health. Let's create a space where men feel safe to share their feelings and expression. Thank everybody for coming. I have a few guests today. We're gonna be talking about breaking the silence and why men does not uh, express their feelings as women would like to or people would like to, and why men doesn't want to get married these days and just pretty much have fun. And most of the time we want to have somebody there, but we really don't want to deal with that nagging or deal with that what we got. So before we start, the word of the day is vulnerability, the quality of being open to emotional pressure. It's important for building deeper connection with others. The verse of the day is cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. From the book of 1 Peter 5:7. This verse highlights the importance of sharing our burden and feelings, embracing the support offered to us. The quote of the day comes from Mr. Brown, states, courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Many men encounter significant challenges when it comes to discussing their emotions, largely due to social expectation and deep and rooted belief about masculinity. From my early age, many men thought that showing vulnerability or expressing feelings is equally with weaknesses. This social condition can discourage open communication and emotional honesty, leading to a lifetime of suppression of feelings. Such suppression often manifests in various ways, including increasing stress, anxiety, and isolation, which can have a determined impact on both mental health and interpersonal relationship. Over time, this unwillingness to engage in social dialogue can create barrier to intimacy and connection, ultimately harming the quality of their relationship with family, friends, and partner. Consider the story of Mike, a father and husband who realized that his reluctance to share his feelings created distance in his relationship. After attending a therapy session, he felt exposed and vulnerable, leading him to believe that seeking help made him weak initially. However, he soon discovered but a source of strength. It's allowed him to connect more deeply with his wife and children, transforming his home into a supportive environment where emotions are expressed rather than hating. Facts. Research indicates that men are significantly less likely than women to seek help for mental health issues, primarily due to social stigma surrounding vulnerability and the expressions of emotion. The stigma often stems from tradition notion of masculinity, which discourage men from expressing their feelings or admitting to struggle. A study published in the American Journal of Men's Health found that approximately 80% of men reported feeling uncomfortable discovering their emotion, highlighting the needs for effective communication and outreach strategy that target men's mental health. By fostering a supportive environment that encourage emotional openness, we can help the barrier men face in seeking necessary mental health support. Using this understanding, we can foster communication, that open emotional expression and encouragement to be more open and express their emotion. By combining biblical wisdom, personal stories, and scientific fact, we can create an empowering space for sharing, expressing, and building stronger connection. This supporting emotion environment is crucial in breaking the silence and encouraging men to embrace that emotional vulnerability. So how everybody doing? Thank you for
So
joining
how
the
everybody
show.
doing? Thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as you
So
can hear,
as you just hear,
wh- uh, what do you think? Just an
what
open
do you
question right
think?
now. What do
Just
you
an open
think
question
is
right now. What is
the main reason
the
men
main
does not
reason
want like to
men
express
does
their
not want like
feelings?
to express their feelings? Okay. Um, I would come in. You know, as for me, what exactly sometimes I don't express my feelings is that if I'm there trying to make someone understand something, or I get out there, went through some stress, and I come home to my family or to whosoever family member, and I try to explain it to you, and you are not listening, you feel that what I'm saying makes sense, instead of you understanding what I'm about to say and put yourself in my shoes, but you take it another way. And most of this time we have it from our women, mainly within Liberia. Everything should be day and day and day and day. And they don't know the stress that men go through a day, and coming home with that stress on the mind, then you come home, you bother with another stress. It ready to drain you down. And when it drain you down, what more can you do? The person that's supposed to back you up, the person that's supposed to be there to talk for you, the person that's supposed to be there to say, oh, hey, you can make it, you can make it, and they are not saying nothing, then how will you express yourself? It's just like you are in a dark world. For example, you go out to hustle, and you having to bother with some disrespect, and you have having to bother with some challenges out there, and then your spouse or whatsoever having to give you a call, and through that temptation you are going through, maybe you did not answer his or her call. When you come home, sometimes they say things, you were with this person, you are with that person, that's why I was calling you, you're not answering. So that stuff you're about to say to me is just like that, it's just like that. You can be shocked, you can be like, what exactly is happening? Because most of the time I can tell people, and I do tell myself, when I'm going through some stress, I try to explain it to you and you're not listening, I can change your mind. I want to say it to you, and when you're not listening, just keep in my little corner. Because what? As a man, you have to be having a peace of mind. If the mind is at peace, you can focus, you can think well. But if your mind is not at peace, definitely you can't even do what you're supposed to do. You can be like, what exactly am I getting? That's why you see these days a lot of marriages are spoiling, a lot of homes are breaking, because for one fact, some of them men come from work, they need a smile, or the man come from work, you see the man entering the house with a frown on his face. Just that word, that good and kind word from you to him can ease down the tension. But if he comes and having to get more from you, what more can he do? He gone through a lot in the street, coming home where he's supposed to rest his mind, he getting another one. What more can he do? He would just be in a dark world. And as for me like that, I just go inside, say my prayer, and back to sleep. That's how I do most of the time.
I got you. I got
Yeah,
you. Okay, okay. So pretty much what I get from there is you don't like the disrespect. So because of disrespect, you don't like to share your emotions, how you feel, because it's gonna come kind of backfire on you, type of deal.
definitely.
Okay.
You're going low. I'm not hearing you.
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we're hearing you now.
I said, what experience have shaped your view on emotional expression, and how can we encourage more men to open up about their feelings in relationship?
Um. If let me come here a little bit there. I thought
Okay.
this is one of the major mistakes many of us men make. It's never quiet when a lady try to walk all over us. We need to express ourselves openly and make her to understand that we are the men in the relationship. But many times we tend to cower ourselves by hiding or saying that I don't want to talk. Even me, my personal example, most time when my wife is angry at me for whatever reasons and she begin to scream, because I'm not a man who like to scream, I'm not a person who like to fuss. I walk away from situation and they criticize me for it. Saying that, oh, you don't like to face situation, you're always walking away from it. My late father used to always say that women have the mouth and the men have the fist. But those things doesn't work nowadays. You can't beat on your wife. That's something we should never do. But a woman saying things to you, I did counseling for so many years. I'm a counselor. It's so wrong and so bad for many of us men to keep quiet when a woman is saying things to us. Even though give her the chance to say what she wants, we should listen to her because that's what they really like. They like us, they want us to listen to them. But after she talks, come in and express your feelings, what you think about her attitude or actions. If we always keep silent, they will always do it. They will always feel that they can say whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, and we can't say anything about it. And they feel they become the head of the home or they begin to wear the pants. I don't do that. If my wife gets angry or for whatever reason she started to talk to me, I give her the chance to calm down. And then when she's done, I come up and tell her, because of this reason or because of these reasons, that's why I said this or I did this. So being silent when it comes to a relationship is very detrimental to that relationship. It can kill the relationship. We need to learn to listen to each other, but also we must express our feelings, how we feel about things that happened, and not allow one party to just take over and just say whatever she wants to say, and we just keep quiet because that's when they continue to do what they always do by talking a lot, and it hurts. And I must admit, there are times my wife will be quarreling with me or saying things to me that is hurtful, and I won't talk. And which is a dangerous thing for the relationship, for a marriage. Because of man, we try to process things. We sit and we try to process what people are saying to us or whoever is saying what to us. If we don't get up and start to shout or scream or get emotional, it's very, very dangerous for a relationship. Because we begin to process and wonder, is this the right person? Should I still be with this person? And we start to make plans. That's what a man does when he doesn't speak. If he keeps quiet. But if a man gets up and say his piece after she have said what she wants to say, it becomes a balanced flow. She got what she got to say. I have what I have to say. It won't give me the chance to sit and begin to meditate or think because they say what they an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if you sit there, you don't say anything and let her do all the talking, guess what's going to happen? Eventually, she will feel that she can say whatever she wants and nothing you can do about it. Someone once told me, we're talking something, and she said, so what are you going to do about it? And I think that's a painful, painful thing to tell a man. When what are you going to do about it? But what I do, I kept quiet. It hurt me, and I kept quiet because I began to process it and make plans. Thank God the plan didn't go through, but I just felt I was tired with it. I just couldn't take it anymore, and I think I had to make a plan to get out of this relationship. So it's good for us to speak out. Do not keep quiet when it's your time to speak. Tell her the truth and nothing but the truth. So that's where I end for now.
Thank you. I really do believe we needs to speak as well, but and I fall in the same category as well. I usually my big defense is be silent. I usually when I feel is certain things or I might say certain things, because I might don't want to hurt her feelings, uh, or don't want to say something that that I might end up regretting later on because I feel like I need to be silent or just pretty much tune out. So I'll be sitting right there looking at you, but I'm pretty much tuned out. I'm not hearing what you're saying. It's coming here, it's going to the next ear. And because I don't want to say something, because for me, just for what I went through and now, it's just like I don't have time for the extra stuff. So now I think now I'm more transparent in relationship than I was when I was in my previous. Because first I was more silent. I didn't say nothing. I was like a yes man. Like I let the person did whatever they want to do. You want to go this place, I got you. You want to do this, I got you. Just so I can please that person in any way. But I realized too, the more I was pleasing them, the disrespect was coming. Even though the more I was doing, the disrespect was still coming. And for me, I valued respect over everything. If you don't respect me, and especially outside, when other people can see the disrespect, but still you just sit there and act like you don't see it, I think that's detrimental for your health as well because uh, and that kind of shows on your performance at job because you
Mm.
don't want to come home. And I never wanted to feel that way. That when I'm coming home, I'd be like, dang, I gotta go home. I never wanted to feel that way. I never wanted to get in something and I'll have to go see something like, damn, oh, when they call my phone and I'd be like, why you calling my phone? I never wanted to do that, but I found myself doing that a lot. And because I wasn't speaking out. And then when I finally start to speak out, if I can remember, they told me, said, I like you better when you are silent.
I told you that's what they like.
I like you better when you're silent. So I sat down, I'm like, what does that mean? I didn't understand what that mean. You like me better when I was silent. Like I don't still understand that. But for a long time, 10 years plus, I didn't say nothing. I was always quiet. I was never because I felt like when I expressed myself, when I expressed myself, they would take it the wrong way, or they would use it against me. So I never really expressed myself. So now when I'm doing it, it feels a little foreign to me. But when other people now like, and I still kind of do it a little bit. I will express myself, and then I will cut people off. Like, hey, I don't have time for that negativity. I don't have time for that. You can go. So I find myself pushing people now away more, just because I'm kind of want to take control of my peace. You know what I'm saying? So I went through this already, and so now it's like if you not gonna act this way, if you're not gonna do this and do this to the third, you can just leave. And I'm be comfortable with
And
myself. Which I don't think that's the right way to handle it, but I found myself doing it because I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to speaking, and I wasn't, and I had this, like, oh, you just quiet, you a quiet man, you don't talk, you do this, and I go outside. People that know me outside, but like, nah, hell nah, he talks like crazy. He always talking. But when it comes down to actually expressing how I'm feeling, how I already felt, I don't say it when it comes down to the person that I say I love. I don't know, man. For some reason, it been happen many times. So, but what would be some of the best way to go about? So sometimes we feel we express ourselves, we feel vulnerable. So what can you speak about vulnerability?
from my end, what exactly I see, because what exactly when they are talking and you comes out to you let them because I can let them to actually pull everything out, right? And then as my brother Isaac was saying, we men then we start to process. So
Yeah.
when I'm processing after that, I come out with some point to let that person know that this is how it should be done, this is how it should be done. And out of a blue sky, they take it to be something else. Then the voice want to go higher than your voice and want to do it like you people are, and that's where I just remain mute because the women their mouth is their strength.
Mhm.
They will say things to you that will offend you and hurt you. And what exactly happened is that you men, because we do process everything, when we say a word, that word can become like a stone. And it's the male word they will use. He said this, he said that, he said this to me, he did this to me. That's why I tell people, you and a woman can be married for over 50 to 60 years. One day she can just look in your face. What have you done for me? You have done nothing for me.
Yeah, you're right.
And they will spit in your face. I just wasting my time behind you. They will say that to you. And that hurts because what? You are putting all your time, all your effort to
Yeah.
do that. So as for me, when it hit me like that, I can go in shock, right? And I can just be like, you know what? Take the lead, just go. Because as Prince was saying, I don't want to say something to you to hurt you. I don't want to say something to you to hurt you because what? My word I would say that's why you will use to the family. That's why you tell people that are closer to me, people that I know that I said. But your word that you said, you won't repeat it. And what can exactly happen if you people are in the misunderstanding things that you did 15, 20 years back, they will bring it.
Yeah.
They will bring it right to your face. And when they bring it right to your face, but this stuff I thought we have passed by, we have jumped over it. Let the sleeping doll lie. No, I will let the people know. Then from that stuff now, when it starts to say, everybody will say you wrong because what they have brought it in. And that can hurt. I can be like, what? Because we have talked about that. And we men, when they do something to us, definitely, as soon as it's sorry, we don't even talk about that. We let it go.
Yeah.
We let it go. But not with the female. Mm-mm. So it only takes the grace of God. As Counselor Isaac was just saying, it only takes the grace of God. That's why sometimes I make a scenario I tell people is that marriage is a school, it's a university that every day you learn it.
Mm.
Every day you learn it. Every day you learn it. You are in class every day. So every day new things you will learn it until God can call you. But there is no diploma there. There is no certificate or either what. You just own it. It's only takes the grace of God. Yeah.
You're right. So,
Yeah.
Prince, what was that? What was the question you asked again? I know my brother just mentioned a lot, but could you give me what? Maybe I think somebody else is here. Would that person want to say something too, or no one else is there?
On
They're
the
there.
three of us.
Somebody they're watching. Now I was
Oh,
talking about the vulnerability. Why when it comes down to man expressing themselves, why do we feel if we do we're gonna feel vulnerable, and why how can we break that? Because it says vulnerability is sharing personal thoughts and feeling require a level of vulnerability that can be uncomfortable. Many people fear being judged or misunderstood.
yeah. You see, that's one of the problem us men will face with because we always want our name or our personality to be up and high. We don't want to come low. But one thing I want us to understand that if you get married to a woman, you married her. She did not marry you in most instances. All
Definitely.
right. There's morning, day
Yeah.
down. You tell me I want you and I want to marry, whatever. But I know when during my days, when I got married almost 30 years ago, I proposed to my wife. And I told her I wanted to get married to her. We went through scripture, and the Bible tells me what? Wife, husband, love your wife, but wife, you must be subjected to the husband. And love falls within that compartment. It falls within. But the Bible never said, okay, he never said that the wife should love us, right? He said, be subjected to your husband. But if you are subjected to something, that means you have what? Love finds itself within that category. Because they say in scripture, so that means the woman cannot love us, but they can just be submissive to us. The point about it, many of us women, many women, sorry, this is us women, many women don't seem to understand that part of scripture. Okay, they feel that when the Bible says, "Men, love your wife," and wives submit to your husband, they expect us to love them, but they don't want to love us in return. Okay, I will serve your food. It got nothing to do about love. Even if a woman tells you, "I love you," be mindful. That doesn't mean she loves you. If she kisses you before you go to work, that doesn't mean she loves you. There are so many things women can do, and we think as men that our wives love us. But I tell you, just as the brother said, the least thing you do, they begin to remind you 50 years ago. They bring it back to light. Something that you guys have discussed and is gone. You bring it back to life. So I will always advise any man, do not keep silent. Do not feel vulnerable when something happens between you and your partner. Always be balanced. Don't say things that would be erroneous or that would be hurtful. Say things that would make sense, that would make the woman to understand that what I'm saying, it should make sense to our relationship, to make our relationship better. Okay, we don't have to go and start insulting and screaming and say, I'm the man here, and slamming the doors and punching the wall. You don't have to do that. But the only thing you need to do is to be what logical. You need to make her understand that this is how you see it. And if both of you could understand it that way, the relationship will work. But if you, as a man, begin to take it out of context, even though, because as the brother said, we can't talk louder than them. Those people can talk from morning to night. And if you want to match them, you will get sick. You won't even have a mouth anymore. So all you have to do is to be measured, say things that are logical, that are sensible, that will affect your marriage in a way to make it more positive. These are the things you need to say. All right. I know a lot of us, we're afraid to say things because we might go out of our way, especially when they say stuff that hurt us, we want to hurt them too. But we, or us as men, we cannot say things to say, because she hurt me, I want to hurt her. Okay, she hurt me, I want to make sense of this relationship. So I will say things in a positive sense, in a positive light. That's why I'm going to respond, how I'm going to respond. That way, you will find yourself, being more satisfied with the person you are as the head of the home or as the man, because of things that you said that made sense. So even if she went out there and said, "Oh, Isaac said this and Isaac said that," her own conscience would beat her, because she know that Isaac did not say anything that was bad, but rather something that would benefit the relationship. So if she was going the negative way, I'll go the positive way. As Michelle Obama said, if they go low, go high, right? So I feel that's how we should do it. And then you will not be vulnerable. But many of us, we take it so hard when a woman says stuff to us, and we want to react in a way that we hurt her and say, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that to him." But you're wasting your time, because if they come out of their mouth, they mean what they say. Sometimes facts come to joke. They will say something and you think they are joking, but they are serious about what they're saying. But how do you approach that situation? Is by being calm, being measured, be balanced, and speak positively into her life, into your relationship. And I tell you the truth, as you continue to do it, gradually you will see her attitude will start to change for the better. Because I believe it's a teaching moment. It's not the idea of going to scream and shout and fight and all of that. I believe when argument comes, it's a teaching moment. That's where you put on your manly coat, and let the woman know that this is how I think it should be. And then if she doesn't even accept it, either you have said the positive stuff and then let it go. It left with her to decide what she wants to do next.
Yeah, I think so. But so my question is, so for those people that that don't want to feel vulnerable, and they tend to hit a woman when they talk, that we think, because sometimes we think we know a women, we know that, we think we know our women, they can talk, but
Never
at
know.
what point does it get that a man will put his hands on a woman?
Oh, because the thing is, what causes men to put a hand on women? One is anger. Two, they feel anger because they are disrespected. They feel anger because the woman is speaking higher than them or louder than them. These are the things that drives men to go and put their hands on women. But if you are a man knowing who you are, respectful, if you want a woman to respect you, you need to be respectful, right? Because the thing is, they say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. So if my friend is a thief and I'm a friend of that thief, what do you think they're going to consider me to be? A thief. So if my wife come in and start to insult me, it left with me as the head of that home to calm down, be measured, and say things to her that would be more positive. Because if you allow what she's saying to get to you, that's when you hit. That's when you start to kick and butt. But if you decide, you know what, even though she's a woman, and look, there's no way. They say women are very complicated to understand. Very complicated. Even the scripture talks about it. You cannot understand a woman. If a woman tells you that she's fine, she's not really fine. There's something beneath it. That's who they are. So if you mind their level and you follow that level of attitude, you will put yourself in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. So what you need to do as the man, you should put on that man cap and say, you know what? I'm the head here and I'm going to be calm, because when I explode, it's going to destroy everything. It will make everything bad. So we should never, under no circumstance, put our hand on a woman. We should never. They are the weaker sex. We are the stronger sex. They cannot measure to us when they come to rioting or whatever. So what do we do if we want our relationship to last, if we want it to continue? We have to be calm. We have to be measured. And as I said, we must be positive. It is a teaching moment. Do not, if it comes to a place, I do it sometimes. If it comes to a situation that I feel that is too hurtful for me, I get up and walk away. Give it some time. Get in my car and drive away. I go and sit somewhere, process it. I feel calm. I come back to the house. I focus on doing something else. Coming to my office or going to my room and doing something else, and then try to avoid the situation. That's how I handle it. And it worked for me on many occasions. But because my wife would never tell you that I hit on her before. I don't do that. I've never. Even my kids, I don't hit on my kids. I don't insult them. I scream at them sometimes, yes, but they are my kids. But my wife, I try to avoid any confrontation with her because she will talk louder than me. And if I have anger issue, I will hit. I will do something that I will regret later. So what do? Either walk away from the situation, or if you think you can stand, give her the chance to talk. Most of us men, I think one of the problems that we faced or are faced with it, we don't give the woman the chance to complete her sentence. And that's why women don't like. They want you to listen to them. But if they are saying something and you don't give them the chance to complete that sentence, they will get angry and say a bad word, and that will prompt you to go and hit them. So give them the chance to finish talking. And then when they are done, you come in with your points, but it must be positive. If you feel that you can't handle the situation, walk away from it for a while. Give it some time.
Yeah, I definitely is guilty of what the last one you said about giving them the chance. Like I said, at this point, I usually, like, when they start to talk, I be like, I don't got time for that. I go straight for that. Like, I don't got time for that off the bat, off the gate,
Yeah, that'll make it
and we.
that'll make it worse. I'm telling you.
And then, but some people are just like a firecracker. Even though you say that, they just keep talking. They just get, and
Oh
then
yeah.
now in your head, you get annoyed. You just aggravated. Like, bro, then I just told you I'm not in the right mindset for that. Instead of just being quiet and letting that express himself and then coming, like you said, with a positive feedback, I just cut it off right there. Like, hey, I don't got time for that. I'm not in the mood right now. And just I feel like doing that is a safe way of me not saying certain things, or it's a safe way of me just saying, listen, just go your way. Because I feel these days I push people away frequently than I think I should, uh, because of my past experience.
Mhm.
So talking about that now, the expectation. What do you think what man expectation or the women expectation that leads to them not or expressing that feelings? Expectation. There may be a fear of not living up to one's own expectation or the expectation of one perceived from others. Uh, this can lead to hesitation in expressing true feelings. So, what you think about that?
Yeah, that's what I keep saying, because if you have an expectation, you want your wife to do better, because that's your expectation. Every man or every woman want their marriage to work. For whatever reason, if you get into a marriage and you don't want it to work, then I don't know why you got into that marriage. So we expect it to work. Okay, that's an expectation. We want to live together until death do us part. That's what we say when we are getting married. But do we actually live up to that? Many of us don't. We made a vow, but we don't live by that vow. In better, better or for worse, or in sickness and in health. We don't. Those things we just say them for formality, but do we really mean it? So if you're a man and you have expectation for your family to succeed, you will definitely be measured. You will be very positive. As I say, if it's too much, you know that it is getting to you and you want to say bad words, walk away from the situation for a while. Give yourself some time. You don't have to sit there and let her rumble on and insult you and say all sorts of things that will anger you to want to retaliate or to fight. So the expectation that I have for my family or my wife is for her to do better. And I, as a man, my expectation is to do better, to be the kind of man that she came to or married, or the man that is the head of the home, because that's the major expectation you can ever have. Nobody wants their wife and them to quarrel every day. Who want that? Who want to come from work, you tired, you beat up, and you come home and your wife is there blabbing, blabbing, blabbing? Who wants that? That is not an expectation. Nobody expects their wife to do that every time. And no one even expect a man to get up and kick his wife or butt her or bite her or punch her. Nobody expect to do that. So if you expect a better marriage, you as a man need to think before you talk. You can't just react, because you just said it, Prince. Nowadays you push people away a little faster because what happened in the past seems to have grown on you in some way. Because if I don't do it, then this person gonna cause me to feel hurt. No, you don't do that. Don't push people away. Always they say what? The only way you can know your enemy unless you get closer to that person, right? So if somebody is treating you in a way that you don't like, draw the person closer and try to study their attitude, study their ways, and see what make them tick. Why did they get so angry so fast? Why she have to say these things to me? What did I do? Always examine yourself. Okay, when a woman is saying things, that you take that time to examine yourself. What did I do? What did I say? But guess what? If you say, what did I do to her? She will never want to listen to you. She would never want to listen to you if you say, "Oh, but what did I do?" They say, you see, yeah, that you want to be the victim now. He acting innocent. What did he do?" But you have to process it in your mind and think about it. And then you got to listen to what she's saying so you will know how to divert or how to deal with the situation. Because if you don't know how to attack the situation with that expectation as the mindset, you're gonna get into a heated argument. That's what I believe expectation is. Everyone expects their marriage to work, but you, the man, you know yourself. You need to be calm. You need to be collected. You need to think twice. You need to ask yourself the question: what have I done wrong? Or how can I deal with this situation now that it's getting out of hand? Should I walk away? Should I sit and listen to her? Will she give me the chance to speak out? Or what's going to happen? What do I expect? Or how do I expect this situation to calm down so that we can stop the argument, not only that day but forever? Okay, I know argument they say teeth and tongue can fight, bite the tongue when they live in the same place. I know once in a while you will have a little misunderstanding, but you don't have to go to the extent where you guys will get into a fight, or you will have to pack up and walk out of the house, or she will leave the house. You don't do it. So you, the man, you must have that expectation. Women should have it too. But we as the head, let us think twice before we act.
Okay. Cassidy, do you have anything to elaborate on expectation?
Yeah, as my brother was just saying, Isaac,
Mhm.
all men expect their family to be the best family in the world. All men expect their wife to be the best wife in the world because what? That was the woman they saw among all other women and choose and God married.
Yeah.
So my expectation for my wife is that we should come to common ground, right? We should understand one another. Despite we are from different background, different way of upbringing, but we should know that we are together now. We are family. We are one.
My battery's gone low.
We are one. We are family and we
Gotta
are
go
one.
charge.
So we should understand misunderstanding, but we should have a common ground. And so long we can communicate, because in relationship, communication is the key. And we should be able to listen to one another. We should be able to understand and put ourselves in that person's shoes. We should be able to say, oh yes, this person is saying this. If could have been me, you know, we should be able to read between the line, because what? The whole life we are living is all about communication and being true to one another. Because if it's not there, bro, son, it can work. It will be difficult. Yeah. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. Hello?
You hear me now?
Yeah, I'm
You
hearing
hear
you
me?
now.
So, do you think we set the expectation too high for the women in our life at times? Because I think we sometimes we see them uh something different than what we sometimes what we expect. We see them. We get to know them. They show a different side, or they do different things, and then sometimes it feel like when that ring go on that finger, it turns. The table turns. Sometimes that's why you have all this fun, you do all these things, you go everywhere. You have all sometimes they give you without asking you, or they just but I don't know, I might be wrong, but sometimes it's like when you after you have say I do and put that ring on the finger, and after that honeymoon stage, things tends to change. Now instead of you getting it every day, uh 3 times a week, you might get it once a week, and then once a month, and then now the different topic comes. So I don't know, sometimes I feel like we put an expectation that break our marriage, instead of just going in as I'm expecting her to be who she is, I'm expecting myself to be me, and then we can come together and compromise and have that one understanding and how we can make this work out. uh Hold on, let me see if I can get him on the screen back. You know, Sometimes I feel that's sometimes I feel we do that instead of put too much expectation on the woman we with. I might be wrong, but I think we do, because for what happens with that person that you marry, or what happened with that person that you knew for 2 years, 3 years, and then all of a sudden thing changes. What happened? It can't be the ring. I mean, you act another way when the ring wasn't there, and then now you acting another way when the ring is there. Like, is that an up expectation on our side, or is that expectation on their side? We're gonna get some ladies to hear from that side as well after we have spoken. So I don't know. What you think? Is is it a ring, or is it just our expectation for the women in our life sometimes too high?
As for me, I feel that sometimes, most of the time, it can be the person can just want to show who they are, right? They just want to. It's almost, if I may say this, I may be wrong, but sometimes you can get a wolf in a sheep cloth. Sorry, I'm not to doing them, but sometimes it can be the wolf in the sheep cloth. They can be so submissive when you people are girlfriend, boyfriend. But as soon as you put the ring, and then you give them that privilege, you give them that right, you tell them, say, hey, now you and I are in the boat, and this is it. And sometimes when they are wrong, you just let it slide, because why? You want for peace to reign. I believe that's where they can loosen up. Because what? When you people have a kid, because of the children, you don't want the children to see you yelling at them. You don't want the children to see you doing them. So you give them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that they will come back and say, no, I think what I'm doing is wrong. That's my husband. I need to submit. And most of the time, what I do tell people, love comes in when the woman submit. It's written in the Bible.
But
So long a
but
woman
what's
submit,
submission to you
so
though?
so long a woman submit herself to her husband. Hey, bro, son, you can actually love the person to the one. You can sacrifice everything. But if submission is not there, you can't get that love from the man. You can't.
Mm.
Because what? That submission is not there. What happens, what comes in that is their respect. And that expectation you have, oh, but what? My wife or my girl was not like this. How come? You start to realize, start to think, but when I met her, she was like this. I met her, she was like this. What changed her? And as my brother Isaac was saying, as soon as you go ahead to ask her, what did I do? Oh no, it will blow to the sky, because you will not want to come out and say it. So, from my part, that's how I see it.
Yeah, submission. I mean, everybody, we gotta look at what submission is to you. Uh, because most time they all show that submission in the beginning, and then it changes when that ring gets on the finger or time goes by. So my question is, but why, or what happened? Is it from the man, or is it from her? Is that why? I think is that why Maria says that we have to question yourself first, and then when you find that inner answer to that question, you can question her, because why would you do all this stuff and then at some point you don't want it no more? So what's the idea between uh want to get married and then at some point in the marriage, you say, I don't want to be married. I don't want to be married no more. At what point do you come to the say, I don't want to be married no more in a marriage? When after you love the shininess, you love the dress, you love everything about the marriage, and then it come down to, nah, I don't think that's for me. I don't think I'm not happy. It usually that word that usually come up. I'm not happy. And from my understanding now that I know, uh, it's not about being happy, because if I put myself in the sense of being happy, I don't know when the last time I was truly happy. To be honest, that's true to say. You know what? I am really, really right now. I'm happy. If it's not come with uh the responsibility I have, which is my kids.
The same thing.
Pops, you breaking out.
Yeah, but you guys, your keep going off, and it's loading all the time.
No, you keep going. No, like, I think the place you sitting. That's why.
I think that the internet,
But go ahead. What you saying?
Well, from my, hey, you were saying something, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Now, what you guys say about that? So
No, but you see, it goes both ways. All right, it goes both ways. A man can love a woman can love a man, and they get involved, get into a relationship. To me, I don't think the ring make any difference. If a woman comes into a marriage with a different intention, you can put any ring or finger, it won't change that intention because she already programming her mind. I'm coming to this guy because he got money. I'm coming to this guy because I can be more comfortable. So love sometimes have nothing to do with marriage. Sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with marriage. Just the idea, what's your reason of coming into the marriage? Is it because you love the man, or because you come in there knowing that the man is well off, that you will be more comfortable in your nice house, you're going to drive a nice car, or what's your real reason? And we never know why a person goes into marriage. We feel maybe the other partner will feel that this person loves me, that's why she or he is coming to get married and become propose. But they have their idea of marriage. Your idea of marriage might be different from their idea of marriage. So if you decide to put ring on somebody's finger, it doesn't change that concept. Or they feel that, oh, okay, it's better now. I had this mindset when I was coming in. Now he put a ring on my finger. Now I can really take control. Now I can do whatever I want to do, and nothing you can do about it, because especially here in the States, you marry a woman and tomorrow something happen, you guys going through divorce, what do you think gonna happen? She will take almost everything from you if she wants. You the man, you can even buy your house that she can come live with you, and you marry her and you and her divorce, they can kick you out of that house. And she can stay in the house. So it's just the idea of the concept. Why did I get married, or why did I come into the marriage? Did I come into the marriage, or am I married at this point because I love her and thinking that there will be no argument, there will be no mistakes made? Then you live in your fantasy world, because there will be problems. So I don't care whatever the case is. If a woman get married to a guy and the guy is yes ma'am to her, what do you think she's going to do? She's going to build on that yes man and disrespect you, because everything you say now is, yeah, let me go ask my wife, let me consult my wife, which is a good thing in a marriage. You guys need to consult each other. But the point is, what is her mindset coming into the marriage? Some people just fake it. They fake it. They go out there, you meet them, you think you love them, they try to steady you, and they see that you make good bit of money, you live in a comfortable home, you drive big cars. They come for things. They don't come because they care about you. So you the man have to be mindful. You have to be mindful, because we do this thing. We see a woman better off. She's a nurse, she's a doctor, or she whatever. Not because of her, we go in from, or what we can get from him. So that's why we do things. So it's almost impossible to really know why you came into a marriage. You will never. You don't know where the thing.
You're breaking in.
I'm breaking.
Yeah, you're breaking in.
It's just by the grace of God. That's all. He created marriage. He said, if a man find a wife, you find a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. He's the only person who can make it better. But if we think in our own strength, we can make our marriage the best marriage on the face of this earth, we make it's a sad mistake. We just can't unless God is in the center of it.
So so what do you think one of the big reasons why like most men now I heard do not want to get married?
Because they don't know who the next person is. I don't know who the woman is that I'm going to get married to. Is she going to come in my life and hurt me as I was hurt before, maybe in the past? It makes it difficult. You begin to think twice. You don't know anybody. Any woman you meet out there, I don't care, she can be the sweetest woman on the face of the earth. You don't know what trigger her. You will never know what take her off. And the least mistake you do something. You see, that's why most guys, they ask a woman when they want a girl, they say, tell me what you don't like. Guys do that. I hear guys do that a lot. They go to the girl and say, tell me what you don't like and what you like. What you don't want me to do to you, so because I don't want you getting angry at me. Are you really sure that when you ask her and she tells you what she doesn't like and you do something, she won't get angry at you? You're making a sad mistake because you don't know her. You don't know what she's thinking. You don't know her mindset. You don't know how she was raised. You don't know where she's from. You just met her. And then because she see that you that kind of gentleman, you're a stand-up guy, you got stuff going. She wants to be a part of that puzzle. She wants to be eat some of that pie. That's what people are. So they're not coming there because you love them or because they love you. I don't know whether marriage is ready to work on that and work that way. Whether it can be because of love. What is love in the first place? What is love? Is there an abstract or a concrete word? What is love? Is there a feeling? What is it? Do we really know when we say we love somebody what it really means? And will that second person reciprocate how you feel about them? No, we don't know. It's just by the grace of God. It's just a puzzle. Okay, I will get this one. When she come in, I will see how she behave. And if we continue to do that, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to keep divorcing every day. We're going to keep kicking women out every day because we feel, oh, maybe that's not the one that I wanted to marry to. But you went to her, you proposed, and now she's with you. So you're stuck. And then some people get mad and beat her or kill her or divorce her. And then the government come here in America and take everything from you and give it to her. And there you stand and say, what? Everything that I work for? Because you don't know her. Never you think that you know a woman. Never, ever. Even if you put in the ring on, do not think that you know her better than she knows herself.
Yeah, I think so I heard what you said. So do you think love in a marriage is enough? Or in a relationship?
No. No. Then when I ask the question, what is love? You guys have to have a relationship or fellowship. If you guys decide to say love, use the word, the connecting rod is love, you guys got to go higher than that word. Your attitude, her attitude, things you say, you watch each other, be balanced, look for fairness, look for respect and disrespect. These things create that word they call love. Love is just a word. It's just a word. It doesn't do anything. But how do you act with that love being the connecting rod? That's what matters most is the relationship with that person. How do you all understand each other? How do you handle situation when it arises? What love got to do with that? Nothing. You can love a woman and say you can beat her. You can love a woman and say you can cuss her, she can cuss you. And that's why you think it's love. But the idea of how you guys handle situation when it comes to a point where you feel, oh, maybe we step out of bound this time. How you guys deal with that situation. That's when you realize the word they call love. But you can't create it.
Got you. But for me, I feel love is not a feeling. I feel love is a choice that individual have to make based
Definitely.
on based on how whatever it means to you, however you define what that word is to you, and it's an action word. So I can't say I just love you in the mouth. I have to show it as well.
Definitely.
So if I make that choice, say, hey, I love you, I have to do the necessary action to show that I love you. By just saying I love you, I don't feel that it's enough without action. It's
Yeah.
almost like the Bible said, with faith without action is dead. It's the same thing. I look at love without action to is dead. So if you don't have no action behind your words, love is dead. And I feel the same thing too is as disrespect. You can't say you love me, but you disrespect me. You can't say you love me, but don't regard my words, my you don't regard me and stuff like that. I don't think you love me. You just saying it. That's why nowadays I don't use that word lightly, because I don't think it needs to be, unless you really truly love somebody. I don't think you should be able to use that word, because I feel if you say you love somebody and you really want to be with somebody, that's a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a lot of things to stay with that love. Because if I say I love you, now I'm had to sacrifice my time to show you that I love you. I'm had to sacrifice my effort. I had to put in the effort, the time, the expectation, whatever you have for me. I have to try to live up to that. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But when you say I love somebody, you have to do to show them that you love them, not just the word. So I feel you have now, when you say you love somebody, it comes with a big sacrifice. And are we willing to really sacrifice those things for love, or for that person that we say we love? Are we willing to sacrifice our time and that we cannot get back? Are we willing to sacrifice our finance, our resources, or whatever we have for that other person because we say we love them, or because we want to use the word love? Do we have that? And I think you answered this question before about past experience, because like when we spoke on before, it's like based on my past experiences, I tend to do things a little different nowadays. I'm pretty much, sometimes some people say I'm short. With I'm a little short. I don't know what that means, but I'm a little short. I don't how to put it.
Quick temper. They call when they say
Yeah, but it's quick temper, but it's just like I'm not. I see it as I'm not here for the BS. I'm not here for all that nagging and buffing. I'm not, and I feel like if we talk about something, and there's no reason why you should bring that stuff back up again in a whole different setting, a whole different situation. We already spoke on that. But something will be like, oh, because you keep doing the same thing, you keep saying that you just keep doing the same song, keep talking about it. No, but you're not giving me the chance to fix it. It's not gonna be fixed overnight. So if you're not giving the person the chance to correct that mistake, and every little things that happen and you keep throwing back in that face, how can they fix that mistake or correct that mistake or choose to correct that mistake? Because in the end of the day, we all have to choose to do anything. Nobody can force us to do it. So how can past experience really affect how we express ourselves? Because past experience provide experience of rejection or misunderstanding can create barrier. If someone has been hurt in the past, they might be more cautious about opening up again. Do you agree with that?
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, if you were hurt in the past, if you had a partner in the past hurt you, or as we use the word love, which is a word, as you said, is not a feeling but choice, which is very true. If I
You
choose
breaking
to
up
love a
bad.
woman, you know, yeah, you can hear me clear now.
Yeah, yeah,
You can hear me clear.
yeah. I
Yeah,
can
my
hear you now.
battery was dead, so I had to. Yeah, you see, because if you look at your past experience or experiences from past relationships, right, you become more cautious. You want to be very careful with the next relationship because you don't want what happened in the past to repeat itself in the new relationship because it might end up the same way again. Nobody plan on failing. No one set himself up for failure to say, you know what, my past relationship failed because of these things, and I'm going to a new relationship and I expect this same thing to happen again. And then I'm going to say fail again, go to the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. So past relationship have a lot to do with our present relationship. It does. So that's why we become more careful about how we act, what we say, what we do, you know, the way the relationship is built. Now we try to be careful not to give too much. And sometimes if you don't give the amount you should give to your partner, it also destroys the relationship. So that's where you need to be very, very careful and think about it before you can actually get into another relationship. Because as you said, that because of your past relationship, now you are a little bit short, as people say. You know, when somebody can say, "Oh, I don't get time for that BS. I don't want to be part of it." But guess what? What are you doing? You are only sweeping the dirt under the carpet because it's not going anywhere. It's still there unless you face it head on. Try to make sense of what is going on. Then that way you guys can amicably resolve that issue. But if you say, you know what, I don't care for that thing, I don't have time for this discussion or what, and she wants to talk, she's going to bring it again. I don't care how far you go, she's going to bring that topic again because she did not get closure or you didn't get closure. She will come again with it. I don't care what it takes. So the thing is, well, you got to face it, be calm, as I said, collected, but you have to face the situation so that you won't have the same thing that happened to you in the past repeat itself. Because I don't think any man wants to just be married one woman to the next. You want peace. Yeah, nobody wants that. You want peace. You want to be happy in your home. The man's home is his castle. You want to be the king of your home. You don't want to come and get another person who will come and bring the same attitude. So what you didn't learn in the first marriage or the first relationship, you have to try to study it in the second one and make sure it is real before you get involved. Get to know who that woman is. Don't do it, as the song said, or songwriter said, he said, it is now an overnight thing. All right. So when you get married to a woman, don't just see her today and say, oh, I'm in love with her and I'm going to get married to her in 1 week. You'll be making a grievous mistake because you don't know her. You don't know where she's from. You don't know her attitude. You don't know how she answers questions. You don't know how she react to relationships. You don't know. You just see a beauty out there and you think, oh, I think I hit the jackpot. You might be going through disaster. You might be setting yourself for complete failure. So your past actually affects your present. It does. And because of your past, it makes your future stronger. Because if you look at your past and you try to work on your past and make sure that past don't affect you anymore, when you get into the future, you become a better husband. You become a better man. Now you can study the woman well and say, okay, I think she's the better one. And I can definitely put a ring on. But if you don't see it that way, the little thing you say, she disrespects you, she's screaming at you, she cursing you in the street, boy, then I think you better put on your running shoes and get out of there. Mm-hmm. Yep. Get out of there.
Yeah, I strongly believe that too. So, because yeah, but so we're going back to how does culture or social norm see certain culture or scientists may discourage expressing emotional openness, making it hard for individuals to break those habits. So how does culture or society play in the role of a man opening up to his women or expressing his feelings or want to get married once again?
One thing I'll let you know, here in the States, it's not easy to tell a woman I love you. They consider it a very strong word. If you would like a woman in the States, if you want her to be or have a relationship, you use the word like. In Africa, we throw that word love around a lot. We think we know what love is. So little thing we say love because of our culture. We love each other. We care about each other. So if you went to a girl, you would say, I love you. But here in the States, because of the cultural background, knowing full well that the word love is a strong word, and love it comes in when you want to get married to that person. That's where people believe here in the States you use that word during your marriage. But if you want to have a relationship, you use the word like because they feel it's a lighter word. Because they take love very seriously. You know, if you get married to somebody, they take marriage and love very seriously. For that reason, they don't use love when they want a relationship with you from the beginning. They will use the word like. So culture have a lot to do with it. Okay, and we got a lot of things we could say about culture when it comes to African culture and the Western world culture. You know, in America, you can you know in Africa, a white man want to marry a Liberian girl. What you think gonna happen? The family gonna be happy. They're gonna rejoice. They say, "Oh, my daughter have made it." Because why? She's gonna go to Europe or she's gonna go to America because she married a white guy. But yeah, in America, if you went to a white woman and say you want her, the first thing she look at racism. Will my family accept him? Will my friends accept him as my boyfriend? He's from Africa. You have a different kind of accent. So culture have a whole lot to play in relationships. Big, whole lot. Where yeah is now mostly accepted. Yeah, now people getting married, black getting married to white, but still I hear a lot that even the family still question that young lady. Why did you get married to this black dude? Why? No other white person. And sometimes they show it to you. They don't even want to show you that relationship as an in-law to them. They put you aside. They don't even want to consider you as that. But in Africa, we see it differently. We love each other as we use the word love. Okay, we go to a woman. How do we tell a woman in Africa we want to have a relationship with them? Where they, oh, you girl, I love you. Which is a strong word here in the States. You don't usually use that. You tell her, you go to any white woman or even African American lady, and you tell her you love her, she will swallow spit. She will have a little hiccup because it's a strong word to them. But if you went to Liberia or Africa, you tell a woman you love her, it's okay because we can throw those words around. So culture really have a whole lot to do with it. It does.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so too. Because still nowadays, certain people still want to marry that in their race or in their culture or in their a lot of people still would date outside our race, but go back to what they believe. Oh, I think Ethiopia still marry their own people. They were now married outside. Or certain African country would date outside, but when they time to sit down and get married, they go back to their roots, because that family don't approve of those individual that they try to get married to, or afraid that their parents gonna disown them or cut tie with them. So because of that, they want to go back to marry that person from that culture or that tribe or whatever it is. So when we talk about spiritually, how does spiritual connection plays within with a man opening up or getting married again? Because spiritual connection for some, the concept of opening up to its scary figure might be feels to perform and initially creating a distance that make it hard to express personal thoughts or prayers. Overall, it's complex interplay of emotional, psychological, social factor that can make it challenging to open up. So, how spiritual connection falls into that?
You see, the thing about it, the book of, I believe it's the book of Corinthians. It speaks about if a woman get married to a man and she's a spiritual woman, her spirituality covers that man. That's what the scripture says. So you getting married to a Muslim woman, to me personally, I don't think it should be a problem if you are a spiritual, if you're a believer in Jesus Christ. If you are highly spiritual and you do those things, your example should be the one. Because I always say when I used to preach, I would say, let you be the Bible that someone else will read. All right. And why am I saying it? Let your attitude show. Let your behavior show godliness, spirituality. And then eventually that person might begin to get, live off on you about your attitude. Okay, like my wife, right? She was a Catholic when I knew her. Today she's no more Catholic. All right. Because why? Because of the church that I go to, the attitude that I exhibit in front of her from the church that I go to is different from Catholicism. It's completely different. Catholicism. So you can do it. Your spirituality can help that person. I don't care who that person is. The person don't have to be in your same set to be able to get married. So, I will get married to a Christian because I'm a Christian. You don't have to. You can get married to anybody if you know that you are spiritually inclined, that the Holy Spirit fill you, and you can stand your ground as a spiritual person. You can definitely, with the help of God, work with that person that you are getting married to. I know sometimes people interpret it different ways. Oh, that person could have a different kind of spirit, and you have a different kind of spirit, and you want to get involved with that kind of person with that kind of spirit. I can marry a prostitute. Even in the Bible, there was a prophet who got married to a prostitute. His wife, he was married, she went and became a and he went and remarried her. He bought her and married to her. So I think it was Hosea. So people do that. You don't have to be the same Christian or whatever to get married. So spirituality, it plays a very major role, but you have to be strong in your spirituality. That when you marry a prostitute, when you marry a Muslim, that your life that you live according to the Spirit of God can definitely move within that person, and it could either change to become the person that God wants him to be. Because the Bible says what? A man who found a wife found a good thing and obtained favor from the Lord. He did not give a special example of women. He didn't say if you married to a Christian wife or you married to this person. He said if a man who found a wife, okay, obtain favor from the Lord. So it's general. So you can marry anybody. Anybody. Once you are spiritual, your spirituality should cover that person. It is scriptural.
Yeah, I think this the scripture did says it too, that if you was to you can't leave a person because they serve a different belief of you. If you chose to marry that person, you have to stay in there now because you chose it.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said earlier, that when you went back on, you have to be the book that that person read. I agree with that because I look for few things in a woman. When that look can always make me look. That's hands down. How they look, that curve, and whatever they got going on, how beautiful they are gonna make me look. But now when I look and I try to talk to you, when I'm talking to you, I'm analyzing in my head. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I tend to do these days. When I talk to people, I kind of analyze in my head and see where they're coming from. Like what kind of person. I kind of like see what kind of person they are just by speaking or what they talk on. So I'm like, it kind of go judge it in a way, but it's not. But I kind of look at your personality as well. Uh, and then from your personality, I look at your character. What people say
Mhm.
about you. How do you present yourself outside, or how do you when I'm not looking? Like a lot of time, I think it was what's the thing? Integrity. A lot of times is if the camera is off, how do you act? If I'm not seeing you, how do you
Mhm.
act? How do you behave? How do you respond to different people? If I say or you say something, I'd be like, all right, just pipe it down. How do you take that? Do you take that in a negative way? Do you take that I'm controlling you? Or do you take that I know I'm being or whatever? How do you take criticism in different
Mhm.
form and different ways? So I kind of look at all that now just by the person talking or just how me dealing with a person before I really can engage in anything with that person that I feel like, oh, you know what, I think yeah, you my lady, or I think that we can go further with this. Just doing
Mhm.
that, that's uh I look at the beauty. I mean, no, we all like to see beautiful things. I mean, I don't think anybody would like to see ugly things. If it was there, we wouldn't be saying you ugly, you this. But just the beautiful for me, just the beautiful outside now doesn't do me any good. I have to, because I, like you said earlier, I have to come home to a peaceful place. Especially my profession, I'm beat up out there. I got people expect me to know everything out there. And now my new role that I'm in, I got not just the public, but my peers thinking that because I'm in this position or this
Yeah.
role, I know more than they do. Which which is if you look at it, it's not really true, but now it's more expectation, it's more eyes on you. So the more every time the more you grow in a relationship, there's more eyes on you on your. So when you're present yourself a certain way outside in public, and then everybody now eyes on y'all. Even though you like it or not, people eyes on y'all. People not looking at y'all. Some people want you to fail, some people want you to succeed. But in the day, there's an eye on y'all, and that's an expectation on y'all. Say, oh, that couple look good. When I was in mine, everybody was like, I didn't know you're going through that problem. I always tell people, don't put your dirty clothes outside, nobody gonna smell it. But
Sure.
but but sometimes sometimes we hide our dirty clothes so much that we show different things to the public, And when actually stuff is actually breaking down, and then now we want to say, "Oh, yeah, I went through this." Like, bruh, like, why are you faking it? Why are you giving through? Why are you giving me advice? Sometimes I give advice to people, and then I sit down and be like, "Damn, I could have took that advice myself."
That's true.
Damn, why I listen
Right.
to that myself? I'm like, if
Yeah.
I would have said it myself, I think my relationship would have worked. I think what I had going on would have worked. And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes we do is like, I don't know. But so, and for me, it comes down to therapy, right? How do you feel? Does therapy work? I mean, you counsel people, so does it work in the sense um, as a man opening up more freedom and being not being afraid of judgment, not being afraid of he gonna say something, she gonna bring it back up. Uh, like I'm gonna tell you my weakness and then you gonna spit it back in my face because I for me personally, I dislike that. I
Mm.
dislike to tell you something about me and then we have a little altercation, you put that back in my face. That just break me down. That just made me want to, like I said, kick you out like early, like hey, get the heck, like cause I don't want to deal with it, and especially if it happened multiple times. I just feel like, listen, now in myself, now I I tend to tune you out. I'm there, but I'm not there. If you know what I mean. Like I'm with you, I'll smile and everything. I'll do everything that you wouldn't with, but when I leave you, that same craving I have for you is not there no more.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Yeah.
and sometimes and
Sure.
sometimes I would say something, and I'll be like, damn, was that too harsh? Was that
Mhm.
too wrong, or did
Mhm.
I let my emotion over? No, because I think I did a segment on don't let your emotion overcloud your intelligence, overpower your intelligence.
Mm.
And sometimes
Yeah.
I would say that, but then when I would say certain things based on they throwing something back in my face, I'd be like, damn, did I just let my emotion overpower my intelligence and say what really I don't mean? But then now you have to stand on it. you know.
Yeah.
So do we have to stand on it? I feel something you have to stand on it. When you say that thing, you have to stand on it because it come back to the feeling of weakness. If I feel like if I don't stand on it, now I'm showing weakness. Now I'm showing like I'm not the man
Mm.
no more. Now I'm portraying as something else. And for me, at this point, I just want to raise my kid, uh, have a woman that love me, but not just say it, but show it, which come with respect.
Mm.
For me, is respect. If you can't respect me, if you can't listen to me, if you can't listen to my guidance, everybody gonna have an input. I think I listened to this show that he was asking DC Young Fly about do you like your woman to control you? And then DC Young Fly
Mm.
keeps saying, "Oh no, but I will let her have a say so." Uh, does a say supposed to is a say so is the same thing as letting her control you? Because at the end of the day, I feel still women still control end of the day because I feel there's a different way they can control a man. Because if a man really in love with a woman, he can do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can even I think even the Bible says love your woman, be able that you be able to die for her. Right. So we have to
Mm.
literally die because of that love that we have for that woman. That's why I feel like just saying I love you is not enough. You have to show that action behind that love. Because just saying I love
Yeah.
you doesn't do it. It's a verb, which is an action word, which means that and if you go back to a biblical sense, you have to die for that person. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? So if you
Mm.
are you willing to die, really die for somebody right now
Because
by
he
using
loves
that
us,
word?
right?
Huh?
I said Jesus died for us because he loves us, right?
Right, but how many of us can really say that we went to die for some other person, and then we look at and we sit back and look at that flaws. We look at damn, they hurt me. They didn't. I don't feel that they respect me. I don't feel like they're doing enough for me. I mean, no. Before we say, and I tell people, if I say I love you, I meant it, and because I have sat down with myself and calculate everything and say, know what, this yes, I already love this person. It's not just a feeling, but it's me choosing to love the person. In saying that, I'm willing to cut everything off. I'm ready to cut everybody off. I'm ready to really go on that battlefield for them because you know I go back to God's words can be void, can't touch the ground, which means when he says something, he have to live up to that. You know, when the Jews went to 2,200 years of slavery, you would think after a year of slavery, God would come and touch, but because his word had to be fulfilled, he gonna make you. If he said 400 years, it's 400 years, right? So I feel that if I say I love you too, I have to. That's why it was a little hard when my situation left and I kind of buried myself in work and I kind of buried myself and isolate myself on everything because I did truly felt chose to love this person, even though there was still disrespect going on. There was still things that I didn't like. There was still things that people were saying outside of me, but because I wanted that to work and I wanted my family to stay intact, I overlook all those things. And I feel by overlooking it, not really dealing with it early, kind of caused that separation. And even though sometimes I was there, but I wasn't there. I was in the house because you know what? I'm like, all right, I want to be here for my kids. I want to be here because I said I do. I made a promise in front of all these people that was there, in front of God, and meaning in front of God, and I want to stay that course and keep going. And I told myself one time, if this was to end without me doing wrong, uh, I don't want to do it again because I'll be afraid to do it again because I don't know what's the future holds. I don't want to go through the same thing again. Because the first one was so hard that I contemplated doing certain things that I feel was selfish that I know I don't think that I should have did, and praise to God that I didn't go through with it. But I thought about certain things to do many times because of I couldn't control my emotions. I couldn't. I kind of butter everything in. I couldn't tell nobody because I don't want nobody to judge me. I don't want nobody to say, "Oh yeah, that's why your wife don't this. That's why your wife don't like you. That's why your wife don't respect you. That's why your wife don't give you no ass or anything." You know what I mean? It's like you don't want your friends saying that because now when people start to say that, now you want to fight them. Now you want to cut off from them too, but you can't cut off from them. You was the one that told them how your
Yeah.
dirty clothes smell like. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
You're
You
right.
was the one that did that. So now when you do that and then people try to throw it back in your face, I feel that's one reason too. Sometimes we don't express our feelings to our friends unless it's somebody we truly, truly knows that, hey, I know your dirty secret as well. So if you try to put my outside, just know I got yours too. You see what I'm saying? So, but do we think that because I don't believe in therapy. For a longer time, I try to do it because I wanted to make that's what I sacrificed coming. Me doing things that I didn't believe in doing or I didn't feel like work because I wanted to make what I had going on work. I was willing to lose everything, pretty much. Lose my job, my career, or whatever it is. I was willing to lose it just to make sure that my family stay intact. I was willing to listen because get a promise I'm going to do this.
Mm.
So doing all that and after that now, and still try to. That's why now I act the way I act, and I'm not. I don't think that's right. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to evolve and change my ways, to be a better individual, better father, a better whatever I am could be. But it still burns to really seem like, can I really truly love somebody, or can I really be truly loved by anyone again? And something I said myself, I cry, and that's where the emotion come in. Just to say that, can I really choose one person uh to say, you know what, that's the person right there? And I mean, I no matter what, that's the person. I feel like I can grow old because now when I gain something else with anybody and I say I do, I don't want I don't want to go back. I don't want to say, "Oh, we divorcing," or anything as that. I don't want to go to that
Mm.
mess. It's a messy thing, and I feel I want somebody that we're gonna grow old together. One of us gonna die first, or whatever it is, And sometimes, like I will listen to Tyrese, and he said he want that feelings in his bone. He wants somebody that, you know, when he fitting down, can say something to him that can lift him back up, not just get him yansh or whatever it is, or cleavage or whatever it is. So, oh, you're beautiful. You think no? He wants somebody that when I'm fitting down, when I'm come outside and I'm beat, or I have a rough day and a rough night, they can just say certain things, and then my whole body just melt. Or I walk to the door and you just feel all the weight that was on you
Mm-hmm.
dropping down. Especially my
Yeah.
profession, we have weight on us already with the vest, with the duty belt, and everything else. And then the expectation that come from your peers, that come from the public, that come from your boss. That's a lot of weight on you. And to come in the house and then feel that weight again, double, even though you
Mm-hmm.
have taken off your uniform.
Yep.
For me now, I feel like when I walk in the house, I want all that weight that from outside to just melt off, just drop off and like, you know what? I'm in a safe space. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of times I like to be by myself these days. I don't like to talk on the phone as much,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or even text as much. Sometimes people think I'm on my phone, I'm texting or I'm talking to somebody, but I'm just looking for something that gonna ease my mind, gonna get me into that sense of peace and take some of the weight off me that I have going on. Uh, so
Yeah.
so does therapy though really? Because I did try a few times to go to therapy, but uh something seemed that always come up that I don't go through with it. And but so that's why I feel like I write certain things and say it, and those things when I write it and give it to people, make them feel a certain way. I feel like it it takes me the weight off me. You
Ah,
know, just by helping other people take some weight off me. So I know you're a counselor. You counsel for many years, and you're a pastor as well. So if you can speak on your experience of how therapy works, and if that really works for a person, and why a black man specifically that I know of don't like to go to therapy. Feel like it's more weaknesses, and it doesn't work in a lot of different aspect of a man open up to his significant other, just open up in general. Because I'm always good, regardless of what I'm going through. You ask me, I'm always gonna say I'm good. I would never really just calm down. Because most time when I calm down, I feel like tearing up. And when I think about tearing up for another person, I feel I'm being weak. I'm
mhm.
being judged, and that's just from my experience, what I go through every day. And now just given another position, now I feel I have more expectation, more weight on me. So the
Mm,
person that I have to have in my life now, uh, you know, I think I would put more on them than what it deserved, just by my past and the expectation that people have for me outside.
mm,
Because when I come inside, I don't want no. And I understand it goes both ways. It's not just because if I just say just for me, that I'll be selfish, and I'm not a selfish person.
mm.
But sometimes you have to look out for yourself first before you can look out for the next person.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in 50-50. It's always have to be 100%. I
Mhm.
have to bring 100% of me as you had to bring 100% of you. And then we can kind of work on that and make it, a 1000%. So what can you elaborate on therapy, and what do you feel like?
Therapy works in a way, but there's conditions in order for it to work. If a person went to therapy, you must decide to accept what the therapist is going to tell you. You have to decide. It's a choice. You decide to change or not to change. If you went to therapy and you decide not to change, okay, yeah, I can just go there and sit. They can talk all they want to talk, but this is who I am. I'm not going to change who I am. It's just meaningless. Therapy is just completely meaningless. But if you decide to change, if you and that partner decide to go for therapy and that partner decide to change her or his attitude, it works. It all depends on you. A therapist is just there to help you, direct you, but not to tell you what to do, but to help you, direct you in a better way so that you can follow a better trend of attitude. That's what a therapist does. They will not tell you what to do. If any therapist tell you what to do, they are not a therapist. They have to leave it with you to make that decisions. They will ask you questions. What do you think about this? What do you think if you do it this way? That's the kind of question a therapist will ask you. but she or he would never tell you, say, oh, go and do it this way, it will work. If anybody tells you that, they are not. They are only destroying you more. But the point is, you must decide to change. That's why you are going for therapy, because of what you have decided. And the point about it is, I myself here, I went to counseling before. I went to a therapist before when my marriage was in shambles. I went to it. It didn't work. It did not help me at all. She went and gave us a movie to go and watch and all kind of stuff. It was just, to me, I just feel it was just blasphemy. It was just fun. Somebody having serious problem and they even thinking of going through divorce, and you tell them to go watch a movie. Come on now. We know movie, they are fake. It's not real stuff. It's something that people make believe. People put together and then they decide to show it. Even though sometimes the attitude could help you through your process. But if we went to counseling and I tried to say what my partner did, and she comes out of the therapy and then tell me, why you have to say this about me? Why you said that about me? Do you think it's gonna work if your partner tell you why you said the truth about her, or she said the truth about you, and then you get angry because the person said the truth about you? That means it's not gonna work. That means you did not go in there with a mindset or open mind to be able to receive, so that you can see logic and then try to change your part of your part of the story. Because no one can change you. No one. I don't care who it can be. Your therapist cannot change you. Your wife cannot change you. Your husband cannot change you. You change yourself. And it's your decision to make. It is your decision to make. To say, you know what? I think this direction that I'm going is wrong from my perspective. And because of that, I want to step back, re examine my ways, and try to take a different path that will make it more peaceful, make it more happier for my husband and myself, or my wife and myself. But if you go to a therapist, or you go to a therapy section, you pay all that money, and you guys' minds are not made up to actually change. And the funny thing about it is, the husband or the wife might decide that, yeah, I think I really want it because I want to change my attitude, and I will listen, I will see which direction this take. But if your partner doesn't see it that way, you guys be wasting your time. It's just waste of that time. That 1 hour or 45 minutes or whatever, it wastes of time and waste of money. Because I went through it before, it didn't help me until it came to a place when I sat and decided that, you know what, I want to go back to my family and I miss them. I think my wife and I can make it, but I have to change my ways. I can't change her, but let me see how I can do it from my perspective. And maybe if I change my ways, it might help her through her process as well. Even though you haven't stopped the situation of screaming and howling, and you know, it what stopped it. But the idea, at least I found some peace because it is my choice. I decided to accept it, to be in it. So now I have to fight it. I have to deal with the situation myself because it's my choice. No one forced me into remarrying. No one forced me into going to doing what I'm doing. I decided, so it left with me to make that decision now. Should I accept this anymore, or should I just, you know what, let it be like dog, we waste water on dog back and keep moving on? Because I know maybe tomorrow it might be better. And that way, always say maybe it doesn't work. It could be worse or it could be better. But you only have to what? Keep trying. Because they say what? When you come to marriage, for better or for worse, right? That's what we hear all the time. Do we really do for better or
Yep.
for worse? Nah. Because you don't know the other person's heart. You don't know their thinking. You don't know their feelings. You don't know what they want to do next. Once upon a
Right.
time, I can tell you a little secret here. I was in the bathroom looking at the mirror that morning, getting ready for work, and my partner looked at me in the mirror, very funny, like disgustingly. It really bothered me, So looking, I saw her face through the mirror when I was looking into the mirror, and I asked, I said, "But why are you looking at me like that?" "Oh no, nothing, nothing." And but I knew it bothered her because she got to know that I noticed what happened. So when she went to work, she called me and began to explain why she made such a disgusting face towards me. Okay, did I really understand it? Did I really accept it? Did I believe it? No. But since she took the time to call to explain to me, I said, okay, you know, All I have to do is to work with it because I put myself in this situation. But I can assure you and assure anyone else who might be listening, therapy cannot help you if you don't make up your mind to decide that it helps you. It won't help you.
Yeah, I feel too is the backslash, like when you both of you go and you sit there and you have to open up about what's going on, and then you have that fear of how she gonna take it.
Yep.
Or she open up and you like how he gonna take it.
Yeah.
And then when you get outside, you get in the car, and
I
then
get
it's like, really, that's how you feel?
You're right. It happened to me before. I know what I'm talking
Really?
about.
That's how
Yeah.
you feel? That's how
I-
you see it? I
Yeah.
see. Now you can go tell somebody else our problem.
Yeah.
But do you think individual therapy works better or collective? So I feel like you go to one, she goes to one, and then if she ready, if y'all both now feel like you said you have to grasp and say, make up your mind, say, know what, I'm in this for the long run. I'm not just in it for a fun time. I'm in it for a long run. And but both of you went to a separate therapy, but now you'll come together after that. Will you think that would be better for some people or
Therapy can only work if you want it to work. That's the only time therapy works. Ask any therapist, they will tell you. I can go to separate. She can go to another one. I can. Well, that's what I do when I'm doing marriage counseling. I call the woman aside. I discuss with her. The next time I call the man, I talk with him. Then I bring both of them together. That's what I do. But guess what? Some of the weddings that I officiated, some of the marriages that I counsel, some of them have gone into divorce because one partner was there who was there for their personal reasons. They wasn't there because they actually want that relationship, but because the woman is getting older, she feel embarrassed. Her time is, the clock is ticking. She want to get married, so her friends they can make fun of her. Or her friends are married now; she's not married. So there are so many other reasons why people get into marriages. So many other reasons. So if I decide to go to a counselor like me now, I decided to be married. We went through divorce, 3 years. But I had when I was out there, I contemplated, I thought about it, I re-examined myself. What did I do in our marriage that was my fault? And this time I'm going to go into the marriage because I love this woman and I will have to deal with my fault. Not look at hers, but I'm going to look at mine. And maybe if mine is okay, it might soften the blow. It might soften our relationship. And it could be maybe something that we can bear until death do us part. But I will say again, separate or together, if one partner doesn't make up that person their mind to say, you know what, I will accept what the therapist tell me. I love my husband and I love my wife, and I'm going to go in this for a long term. It will never work. You'll only be wasting your time and your money.
okay, okay. So if we talk about the kids growing up these days,
Mm.
that grow up now, how
Yeah,
can we encourage young boys to feel comfortable expressing their emotion without fear of judgment?
yeah, but the first thing is you have to be an example. You, the person who want to talk to the child or this young person concerning their relationship or getting involved into a relationship, they watch you. Your children in their house, they watch everything the parents does. Everything. The way you talk to your wife, the way you talk to your husband, the way you act towards each other. They all watch you every day of the week. They watch everything you do. Your actions speak louder than words to them or to anybody. Your actions speak louder than words. So you can go and tell a child, say, oh, don't do this, but then you, the parents, go and do it, and they get to know. You only wasted your time. That child will never pick what you said, but rather they want to see what you are doing. So you need to live it. Whatever you say, you need to live up to what your message is. So if you spoke to a youth about relationship, about getting married, they are going to watch you. They will see, okay, there's a challenge. Say he say, I got to behave this way. I have to behave this way to get a woman or to be a better husband. Is he a better husband? That's why people say, if you are never married, don't come and tell me that you want to counsel me, because you don't know what marriage is. You've never been in it. You've, as they say, what? You never put your foot in the shoes to know how it's pinching you. So you can't tell me what to do if you never went through marriage. Okay? So that's the thing with youth. They watch everything that adult does, especially if you take the responsibility to help them to say I want to help them. They watch your actions, the way you talk to your wife, the way you talk to your children, the way you behave among people, how you handle yourself, how you dress, how you speak, how you cater for to yourself. They based on these things. That's the best teacher is your example. That's the best teacher. So if you want to talk to a person about marriage or about living a decent life, you must be decent. You must be able to control your home. You must be truly the head of your home. You cannot, even scripture talks about it. If you cannot control your home, you cannot control a church. You cannot control nothing. Because that's the first ministry, is your home. Your home is your first ministry.
Right.
So that's that. I believe our actions should determine what the next person should do, and not only say it, but do we live by our words? Do we live up to it?
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that too. It's us showing that expression as well, because we can't tell them, we can't still be on them about, a lot of times, like, you gotta be strong, don't be soft, man don't cry, man don't do this, and then you have to at least sometimes tell them, say, yes, you can't always show that emotion like a female, but you have to be able to express yourself too.
Yeah.
And I always try to say you have to express yourself in an intelligent way.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to express yourself in an intelligent way, which I mean is, like, if you're not going to express yourself without cursing, without calling names, then I don't want to hear it. I think
Mhm.
that's where I come into play too, because, like, I'm not going to sit there and you keep cursing, calling somebody the B word, or doing
Yeah.
because you disagree with them. If you're not going to sit down, if you want to sit down, have an intelligent conversation and use our words and carefully, instead of calling people name or using a curse word, then I don't want to hear it.
Sure.
You know,
Yep.
I'm not into it. So I feel if we can do that with our young boys and girls and tell them, say, listen, especially the boys, express that feeling in an intelligent way. If something you're not feeling right, say it. But
Mhm.
don't let it hold in. Don't hold that in. Don't say it all the time. But because I feel sometimes some of us just, I feel some people just too emotional. For me, at times, certain things I feel you so be strong as a man, they break down on that, and I just. But that's why I'm trying, like, what can we find the balance? With telling them to do this, but at the same time telling them, say, you got to be strong. But then at the same time say, you know what, you can feel free to express yourself. And does that come with the friendship with your kids, or you still being firm with them? Say, hey, you have to be a man, because the world don't care about you. The
Mhm.
world only cares about what you can provide and what you can offer. If you
Yep.
can't offer nothing to most females or most people in the world, you're nothing. You
No.
know, it's
Right.
it's what you can offer, either your mind or whatever it is. Uh, if you can't offer nothing, people look at you like you're nothing, like you have nothing, because you
Yeah.
have nothing to offer. Most time in relationship, I feel too, if you can't offer that woman anything, and for me, I think if you can't offer me a peace of mind, if you can't offer me that advice, that when I'm breaking down, and you have no true words to tell me to really, that will uplift me and that will let me, get back. In the day, I still, like you said, I still have to choose to want to do what I want to do. I
Yep.
still have to be that person, be like, you know what? I can't forget my why. I gotta remember why did I started to do this?
Mhm.
Why did I got into this marriage in the first place? Why did I got in a relationship in the first place? Why, did I went to this job, or this, I picked this career path? Why am I doing what am I doing? Like, many times, because of financial being, I wanted to give up on certain things,
Mhm.
give up on certain projects I was doing. But then when I sit down, I'm like, you know what? I have to remember my why. I have to give that sacrifice for the long haul, not just for now,
Mhm.
and keep it moving. So, to go to the next question, what are the long term benefit for a man who practice emotional honestly in their relationship or marriage?
The point about emotion is it goes several ways. All right. Emotion can be what? Anger. You can be emotionally angry. You can be emotion when you go in the corner when a woman scream at you, start crying. I bet nobody will want to do that in front of the wife, right? So you can still be emotional, but be firm with your emotion. They have the word. It says, "Well, tough love," right? You can have a relationship, but don't always lie down, let a person walk over you. You can be emotional sometimes by being frank and be balanced with what you say. Emotion causes that too. Say, you know what, she's saying all these things about me, but I'm going to give her a chance to finish. Then I will come in and try to tell her how I feel with emotion. you know you don't have to scream, you don't have to shout. You can be emotional and still be calm, about in the manner in which you speak. Okay, many men feel that when they scream to over the woman's voice, then they're showing masculinity. No, you're wasting your time, because she's going to try to do the same to you. They talk. Us men, we don't talk a whole lot. Yeah, I know we guys don't talk to men, but most time women talk. Most men don't say. But the thing is, when you're dealing with situations like me, my example, I can give you mine. In the past, what led to my divorce was because of the way I used to try to measure arm. I feel I'm the man. She can't override me. So when she screamed, I scream louder. Then she screamed, I scream louder. Then people around start to hear us screaming. And people wonder what was going on in our house. Why they banging the door and banging on the walls? Do you think it really helped the relationship? No, it hurt the relationship more, because I, as the man, did not see it from that perspective of being what? Firm, calm, and understood. I did not see it like that from the beginning. But now I see it. Now I see it. If my wife starts to scream, I sit right here and I won't say a word. When she gets done, I get up, I stand in front of her, and I tell her how I felt about the way she addressed the situation. We could still discuss the situation in a calmer way, and what would bring understanding. Screaming doesn't help the situation at all. I know she got her way of handling things. Now I have my way. Before, I would jump on and start to scream and maybe even hit, because I want to show that manlyhood. I'm the man. Yeah, I can't let her override me. If any man go into a relationship like that, or a marriage, it will fail. Eventually, it will fail, because you don't have you don't have the strength to continue to fight all the time. You just can't. And once she feels that you are arch rival, guess what? Every time you will be in force, because you are competing. There is no relationship again. That competition now. Who shout the loudest? Who kicked the loudest? Who hit the door the loudest? Who slammed the door the loudest? That's what's happening. So it messed the relationship up. So that's what I always say. Both of you have to make that decision. Do I want to stay in this marriage, or I want out? And if the person feel that they want out, let them get out. When I felt those days I wanted out, I got out. It took 3 years for me to come to myself, rethink my position, rethink my life before getting back into it. And today, whatever falls, I bear the consequences, because I chose. So I feel that's what it is. It all depends on you, the individual, not the next person. How you handle your
Yeah,
situation, what make it best.
yeah. I feel the same way too. I feel because most time when we it's like two men. If two men go shouting together, it's gonna end up into a
Oh,
into a
yep,
fighting at one
yeah.
point. And I feel that's when, if a man cannot control himself or his emotion, and he try to go shot and match with a female, that's when that abuse from either
Yeah.
part come into
Yes,
place.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because like you said, it's now it's a competition, and I
Hmm.
don't want my relationship to be a competition.
No,
I don't want to be a competition with me, because I go out there and compete against other men. I don't
mhm,
want to feel I had to compete against who I'm
right.
with. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely.
There's no reason why I should compete against you. I think when I win, I feel like you win, and when you
Mhm.
win, I should feel like I won.
That's
That's
how it
why
should.
somebody once told me about when you in a marriage and that woman make $20
Uh-huh.
and you make $100,000. When they
Yeah,
ask her how much she made, her answer should be, "I make $120,000."
1,000. Yeah, definitely.
Because end of the day, is
Great for both
you
of you.
know
Yeah.
right, it's for both of you, and that's why a lot of people say 50-50. A lot of people don't understand what 50-50 is, because either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. It's not nothing 50-50. It's just 100% of you, 100% of me, and we can make this 1,000%.
Yeah.
So that's I don't like to go shout and mash with people because uh, sometimes you don't know that person anger. You don't know how people fast to hit, and then when somebody hits you, if you're not emotional control, because you have to enjoy it. If another man hits you, your normal reaction is to hit back.
Yeah.
Do not
Definitely.
look soft. Do not
Yeah.
look like this. You have to hit back. So when a woman is hitting you, now you don't see her as a woman no more.
Mm-hmm.
You see her now as another man
Yeah.
trying to throw blow with you.
For you, yeah.
And and some women don't understand too that you can't do that to a man. And especially that's how coming to know who you with is very important as well. Because if you were somebody that's not emotional control, it was always going to be domestic violence in that house.
Yeah. That's very
I have responded to a lot of domestic violence that you take one person and then the other person jump on your back saying, "No, don't take me. It was just a misunderstanding." Why you call me then?
right.
Because
You're
when
right.
you call the third person in it, it's not going to be how you want it to be. If you
Uh,
tell a third person about your problem, it's not going to be how you want it to be. So I appreciate that. So I got one more question before we close.
okay.
Uh, the question would be, how can workplace do to foster a culture where men feel safe to express their feelings and mental health concern?
Yeah. Workplaces, you have to be very careful what you say at work. Once upon a time, I remember I went to work one day, and at that time I was going through the divorce process, and I mentioned something about it. And one of the older lady there called me aside and said, Isaac, never you bring your house or your family matter to work to your workplace. Not everyone here likes you. Everybody have their personal dislike and their likes. So if you think you come here and you come in and talk about your family, thinking that you're taking something off your chest, somebody at their workplace going to take it, and come against you with it, and going to hurt you more. So if you want your mental sanity, do not ever go to your workplace and tell anyone about what goes on in your home. Never, never. People there, some of them feel that they could be friends to help your situation. Those same people will turn around and tell somebody else. Don't we should never forget. I have a friend I consider a best friend. That best friend have another friend too. They consider their best friend. That best friend have another person they consider their best friend. So if you tell me I go, the next person will say I do. The other one will say I went. The other one will say I didn't go. That's how they're going to do it. And in the end, it's going to contradict anything you ever said. They will change it to their own way of thinking it. So if you want your mental sanity, never you take it at work. Never you take your issues to anyone at work. They are not your counselor. They are not your mentor. If somebody is your mentor and you trust that person to be your mentor, yes, you can tell that person your story, knowing that it is between. They say secret is with only one person. That's what secret is. If you want to save secret, it's with one person, and it's you. You the only one know your secret, and you know your secret. If you went to work and you told anyone at work about your personal issues, it is detrimental to your workspace, your improvement over there, your elevation, because they're going to use it. Once they don't get that opportunity and you get it, and they know something about you, they're going to bring it out. It happened to me on numerous occasions. I was working at Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge as a counselor. There was a guy that I knew from Ghana. I brought this guy in. I said, you hire this guy. They hired this guy. Time came when I was going through my situation with my family. He went to my workplace and told my workers, because I was a counselor. They felt they were going to fire me because you are a counselor. How can you have a problem with your family or your wife? And now you guys going through divorce. The only thing that blessed me was the pastor that was there, who he reported to was our boss. He decided to come to me and tell me about what this guy told him about me, because I told this guy about my situation. So he went out to go tell them so they can fire me. because he wanted the position that I was holding. The person that I held his hand and took him to work to ask them to get him a job, he now turned against me and started to say erroneous things about, even wrote a letter about me. So my advice to anyone who might be listening, never, ever you take your personal issues to work. I don't care who that person is at work, whether that you consider him to be your buddy or she the buddy or whatever. Do not, do not tell that person unless that person is your mentor and they are concerned about your well-being. They want to see you better off. And there too, you can discuss your issue. They can discuss the issues with you. Like my late godfather, Uncle Ralph, he used to tell me his stuff. I tell him my stuff, and it was only between both of us. He never used to discuss it with my wife, nor I discuss it with his wife. He was far older than me, but we kept it as a secret between only two of us. Till today, he's dead and gone. Some of the things he told me about his wife, I still know it, but I don't talk about it. My wife said, don't even know. She doesn't know. Because as I said, secret is with one person. So if you want your mental sanity, never you take your personal issues to work to talk. Go to work, work, and go home. Do not discuss with anybody at work.
Yeah, I strongly believe that too, because like you said, not everybody at work is your friend. So
Definitely.
that's why most time when you starting a new relationship at work, the other person doesn't understand why. Hey, we gotta keep this on the DL, or why we can't tell anybody this, or why because first of all, you don't know where you're going. You just started a new thing. So
Yeah.
now when everybody is involved, now it's a lot of drama coming place. Because now this person that liked you might
Mhm.
come up and say something to the other person that got you. Hey, oh, me and him did this, me and her did that, oh, she was this, she did that, and he did this and did that. And then now you're just getting to know each other. And so even that, and then you go home, like I said, if you don't put your dirty clothes outside, nobody gonna smell it. So if
Tell
you
it.
go to work and you put your dirty clothes outside, don't be mad while people are smelling it and saying this thing,
Yeah.
because you put it outside.
Yeah. You're right.
Uh, that's why whatever your personal business, when you hit that door or you hit that car, whatever it is, you put that uniform on and leave right at your door.
Yeah.
That's what my mom always tell me. Say your prayer before you leave, and that's where whatever happened in the head of you, God can go and guide you. And don't say more what you need to say. Say
Definitely.
exactly what you have to say. Your problem at home is leave at home. When you
Yeah.
coming back home, now you can think about what you got going on. But when you go on to work, take a clear mind, because in different profession, you have to have a clear mind to
Especially
do your
yours.
work effectively. Yes,
Yeah.
no, to do your work. Because if I'm thinking about what goes on at my house, I'm thinking about this, and I'm getting texts while I'm at work and getting calls and this that going on. Now my mind is not focused on work. My mind is focused on that text. Oh, she mad at me. Oh, why is she doing this? Now I'm like, and then when you say like, we're gonna talk about it later. Why we can't talk about it now? Because I'm at work. I got to focus.
You
You know
got
what
to.
I'm saying? And then now you never know who eavesdropping. Like,
Yeah.
oh, some people can be speculating. Oh, it's trouble in the house, and then
Yeah.
just kind of want to pick your brain.
You're
And then
right.
you not thinking that, oh, we cool. I'm cool with this person. I can tell them this. I can tell them that. And this person never told you anything personal about them, but
Hmm.
now you tell that person about you because you kind of want to give it out. Like sometimes I feel you just want somebody to talk to
Hmm.
before you explore. Because sometimes you're like one sense away from exploring, and you don't want to explore. So I appreciate you being on. Is there anything you want to tell the people that's watching that viewing about marriage and a man opening up to his significant others? Or is there anything, any advice you can give to people? Anything you would like to say on those stuff we just talked about?
Yeah. What the only advice I can give to anyone is be very careful who you choose to be your partner. Not everybody that come with, I think you all have heard a story about the beast, the lady, the young lady. A lot of good guys came to her and wanted to marry her. She refused. But a beast said, okay, since she had refused everybody, she went, borrowed this person this, borrowed that person that, borrowed this person that, and he borrowed everything he could get to make himself look well dressed and look good. When she saw him, she said, that's the man right there. When he got married to her and while going to his place, he began to give back everything that he borrowed in order to entice her to be with him. So people come in different forms and factions. You have to be very careful with the person that you choose to live the rest of your life with. Because whatever you do, that person will have a mark in your life. Whether you divorce her, whatever you did, she still will be a part of your history. So you have to be very mindful. Think, re-examine, examine, study that partner of yours. Make sure that person is who she or he says they are. And if you come to the place of putting the ring on, make sure that you are sure of it. And when you guys go and make a vow, make sure you live by that vow. Do not go about doing something else because you wanted to be a part of that luxury or that comfort that the person might have, and then you will just fool yourself and kill yourself before time. Why you think today so many men die before instead of women? A lot of men die today, and women continue to live on because we go through the stress and we just can't take it anymore. And eventually, we lost our lives. So I want to advise each one before you choose a partner, be very careful. Choose wisely. Pray about it. Pray about it. Allow the Holy Spirit to work within you and make sure this is the person. And even if you get into that relationship, be mature enough to be emotionally calm. Don't go there and be fighting, screaming, and try to show entitlement. I marry you and who you think you are. You don't have to go through all of that because you don't know the next partner. You don't know who you marry to. You think you know, you study, you pray, and you think you know, but that person can change within a twinkling of an eye. That person can change, and you'll be amazed. Say it cannot be the same woman that I married, or that's not the same man that I married to. It happens. So we have to be mindful of who we choose, and we got to study it, and we have to deal with ourselves. You can't change anyone. I want us to understand. You cannot change your wife, and your wife cannot change you. You all just have to accept working with each other because you care about one another, because you love one another. You want to stay together. That's the only thing that make marriages work. If you ask a lot of people who've been married for 60 years, 70 years, they tell you, you have to accept the next person's flaws. And when you accept their flaws, it's better for you. But if you say you want to resist their flaws, you will definitely end up being hurt. So that's my little advice I have.
All right, thank you. Thank you once again for coming. I hope you can come back another time.
Always.
Appreciate. It was a good topic. I enjoy it very much, and hopefully we can have another one and get the female perspective on what do they think about what we talk about in the male. So I appreciate it. Hope you can come another time and talk to you later.
Okay, but thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Yes. But there you have it. It's a great topic, a great stuff that we discuss. Hopefully, everybody's listening, learn something. That I did learn a lot and expressing myself. And sometimes it's hard for a man to express his feelings, but we have to learn to do it if we want to have a successful relationship, a successful marriage, and we have to know those people that we with as well. How they're gonna take when we express ourselves. They're not gonna spit it back in our face. And when they start to spit it back in our face, you have to make a decision. Like Pop said, I feel most important decision you ever make in your life is the person you choose to live the rest of your life with. That person can make you or break you. So that's the most important decision. So doesn't matter how old you're getting or how young you are, you have to make sure and put God. End of the day, you have to put God in the middle. There's no if but or when. You have to put God in the middle, and He have to lead you and guide you before you get anything. A lot of times we try to fix things when it's out of control, and try to do things when other people see things that you don't see, that come in your life and tells you what's going on. But sometimes we be so blind, and they say love is blind. But I feel the only time love should be blind is blind to your imperfection. To make sure that You're not perfect as I'm not perfect. I'm not going to look at you as a perfect person because I'm not perfect. Because if I look at you as perfect, then I have to be perfect, and I'll be lying. So it's not easy for us men to express ourselves because of the different stigma that goes around. But I feel to have a long relationship and a healthy marriage, you have to learn to express yourself in an intelligent way. And shouting, playing a shouting match, not going to work. Competing with your significant other, not going to work, because why compete? You also work together, be one. So before I leave, I'm going to go ahead and read some scriptures I was given from the book of 2 Corinthians 12:9-10. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more guided about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. This verse suggests that true spiritual power is often found in acknowledging one's own limitation. All right, the second one is from Galatians 6:2. Carry one another burden, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. This verse encourages a spirit of mutual support within the community of believers, acknowledging that vulnerability is a shared human experience. And another one is from James 5:16. Therefore, confess your sin to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. When you went to the church, that's when they would literally lay hands on you and put the holy oil on you when you sick and you confess your sins. And, back in the days, that's how it was. So this passage highlights the role of confessions and prayer in fostering healing and addressing vulnerability within the community. And Proverbs 31 calls for believers to speak out on behalf of the voiceless and for the right of all who are vulnerable. So go read that for yourself, meditate on it, see what you get out of it. And end of the day, you have to put God first in the center. Not her, God. It have to be God first in everything we do, in every situation. And for all the men that is listening, I pray that we can come to that realization that we have to express ourselves and not hold things in. Yes, the world sees us in a different light than a woman, but we have to set that standard, and we have to make them see us for the person we are, the person we're intended to be, and the man that God made us to be. He made us in his own image, and we are second to him. We are all the child of God. There's no man or woman. We're all children of God at the end of the day. But we look at the law. There's God, there's man, there's women, there's children. When we flip that around, that's when we create a problem. So you're a man, stay a man, keep that power, but don't abuse that power. With every power, there's a greater responsibility. So love, be kind, be respectful. And don't be afraid to stay by yourself if you have to gain that peace. But don't be afraid to try love. Because the Bible said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So love yourself first and share that love to the next person. And let that light shine from you onto them, that they too can love. Like you heard Mr. Isaac says, that be a book that someone else can read. If you that book that people say is trash, that's the kind of book you put out. So be that book. Don't just be the cover of the book. Because most of it said, don't judge the book by a cover. Sometimes you see the book and you be like, it's not a good read. And you open the book, it's actually a great read. Or sometimes you see the book, it's all glamorous. Like, it's going to be a great read. And you open the book, it's like, damn, it's a trash. It look good. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about certain people too. They look good. They come outside looking good. They say all the right things. And then at some point, everything shifts and change. And you ask yourself, what happened? So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And once again, welcome to the Royal Peace Show, where we believe health is the new goal. Water is life, and God above all. We highlight the importance of mental, physical, and spiritual health, spiritual well-being. So don't forget to like, to share, and follow the channel, Wanna Bag TV, and go check out most segment on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Thank you once again. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless all.